lunch for thousands of Mainers whose sandwich shop became a staple for the people of Bangor has died.
Francis Skip Rist worked at the Coffee Pot on State Street for nearly 60 years. An obituary in the Bangor Daily News says he died after a short illness. Skip Rist closed the Coffee Pot at the end of 2009, and Bangor native Bill Green was there for the last day.
As long as I've been alive, this has been the midday scene on State Street. People lined up waiting for a coffee pot.
I need 4 deluxe coffee pots, no onions or peppers.
Skip Rist cheerfully greeted and served each customer
$18.15.
and sent someone out the door with a bag full of sandwiches every 42 seconds. Oddly enough, the coffee pot just served cold sandwiches, and in my lifetime, it didn't serve coffee.
I think that's one of our secrets, was we had a limited menu and everything was so fresh. I think that was part of the popularity of the place, really.
So, how fresh is fresh? Does everything come in every day?
Oh, yes. Well, the salami and cheese, you can keep that for a long time. But we get a daily delivery. Yeah. We use about 125 pounds of tomatoes a day, and we use about 100 pounds of onions, and about 70 pounds of green peppers.
The concoction known as a coffee pot is gastronomical ecstasy for those of us who grew up in Bangor. People lined up right out the door every Monday through Friday. Skip never expanded, he never started another store, and he never let anyone else run the cash register.
One of my favorite Skip Rist stories comes from when I first invested in the stock market, made $100 and thought I was going to take on Wall Street. I thought, if I could just franchise the coffee pot, we'd go worldwide, I'd be rich. So I went in and bought a couple of coffee pots. I said to Skip, anybody ever talk to you about franchising this place? He snapped a bag open and said, about once a week.
Thank you.
Skip did it his way. No checks or plastic. Stephen King was once 6 cents short, and about 20 people tried to pick up the tab. Everyone in the shop was trained, and everyone in town knew what to do. You got in line, ordered precisely, and left. You couldn't really complain. No one was making you buy these sandwiches. The coffee pot was located across from St. John's Grammar School, and just about everyone can remember when they started eating coffee pots.
When I was a student here at St. John's, I used to come across the street and get coffee pots when I was 7, 8 years old.
And they haven't changed a bit.
They seem to get better and better.
It was April 1956.
Yep.
Set right across the street.
Yeah.
50 cents a piece. My husband broke his toe.
Yeah.
I had to come over and get it. And we sat right there and ate it. He was my boyfriend then.
About 55 years. I came here, I remembered the first one because my father had a green and white Ford Fairlane wagon.
Out back were the girls, 2 teams of workers. Robin Frost says they kept their eyes on the mirror so they knew who was coming and going.
Wonderful. The crew's great.
Yep.
It's fun coming to work, really.
And you work for a Bangor icon. I mean, this is a famous place.
Yeah, a lot of us have been here for a number of years. 20. I've been here for 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheryl's been here for 20.
Yep, and Denise 17.
Can't tie it behind my back. On the day before the coffee pot closed, Skip let me go out back and make my own sandwich. It wasn't pretty. That's really weak.
Okay.
They're pretty disappointed. You can tell. It's the worst coffee pot ever made, and they're disappointed. But now I have the secret. So come on down to Bill's Coffee Pot. And for the record, a coffee pot begins with a brick oven bakery roll. That's the company that was owned by Bill Cohen's family. You put a layer of green peppers on the bottom with a few tomatoes laid end to end. A liberal helping of white Spanish onions, a little quality olive oil, salt, and here's a secret, red pepper. And 4 rectangles of American cheese, 3 half pieces of salami, and 5 finely sliced dill pickles. Older Bangorians might remember this building on Hancock Street where the coffee pot started. Skip's father, Grover, ran that business, was evicted when he couldn't pay the rent in 1936.
There's one person from Hancock Street told me the place was so small, my father used to make sandwiches upstairs and send them down by a dumbwaiter.
They moved up to State Street. And that's where the 5 Rist children each took a turn. Skip and his mother Rose ran the business after Grover's death in 1960. Skip would estimate how many sandwiches he could sell in a day, and when he was done, the shop closed. Skip always wore a white shirt and tie.
My father said, you're dealing with food, always look presentable and clean and neat. So it's just the way we were taught to wait on customers and work. So.
Good businessman, your dad?
Oh, very good. Very smart man. Very smart man. Really. As I said, he started it. I just kept it going. But it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be here.
It was known around town that when Skip retired, that would be it. He didn't want anyone else running his coffee pot. Skip decided the last day of 2009 would be the last day for the shop.
I've worked since I was 13. I'm 72 years old. I have to have a knee replaced, and the summer's too busy. I just can't handle the summers anymore.
On the last few days, Bangor went wild. People just had to get one last sandwich.
Love that guy. Just sandwiches, can't buy them anywhere.
Kevin, you're standing here in short sleeve shirts. It's about 15 degrees to get a coffee pot.
Yeah, this is the last couple days, so I figured I'd make the best of it.
Is it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Coffee pots were Bangor's comfort food, and now they are no more. I've written a lot of stories in my life. This is one that I don't want to finish.
Phil Green with that story. It was incredible to see those women working. My gosh, like a rhythm to what they were doing in there.
They were good at it. I really want one of those sandwiches.
I know,
now
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Skip Rist was 87 years old, and according to his obituary, a mass will be held for Rist on Friday at the St. Paul, the Apostle Parish in Bangor, and the ceremony will be live streamed on the church's website.